Oh, we're looking forward to this webinar. I hope it's going to be very educational for our group. I know we've got a lot of people who are excited about it.
I'm Jerry from Team Uniform Orders. Very brief history of the company. I promise very brief. We did not start the company. Company was founded in 2008. Originally as a sports ordering platform, e-commerce ordering platform, and originally for soccer. So long story, which I won't bore you with, over the last 4 or 5 years. I was personally introduced, a few other folks we brought in. So the gentleman who actually started the company in 2008, we got involved and took over the business about 4 years ago. Since then, we've taken what is in essence a simple tool to set up online stores, and I'll show you that, all the way through a back-end, very sophisticated system that literally stores every attribute from every order. We've greatly expanded this platform to work beyond sports. So we do a lot of work in sports, certainly. We do a lot of work in corporate apparel. We do a lot of work in promotional products. So I'm going to take you through a very simple, brief explanation of what the platform does. And again, feel free to stop and ask questions as we go, okay? All right, so why online ordering? First of all, let me explain. There are many versions of online ordering. There's online stores that are set up for the end customer to come in and shop. There are online ordering systems in which one individual can log in and place orders on behalf of many. We're the former. So our technology is best suited if you have an end customer. Let's say you're working with a large company and they have 5,000 employees. Our technology is best suited to be able to set up online stores where each individual employee can come in and buy whatever they want. That is definitely our sweet spot. We do have clients that actually use our solution for what we call bulk ordering, in which that one person goes in and orders on behalf of many. But definitely our sweet spot is the end customer for reasons that we're going to cover as we go today. So why do a lot of clients embrace online ordering? When we started working with this company 4 or 5 years ago, they had 25 clients. Today, it's over 1,500 clients. So there's no doubt there are 3 simple reasons why this thing called online ordering is starting to become pretty popular. And the 3 reasons, obvious reasons up front would be, number one, when you set up an online store for a client, you're going to collect all your money up front. So that should be obvious, but there's a second sub-benefit to that, which is a lot of our clients, they used to take an order from a large client. A client would call and say, I need 500 of these, 400 of those, 200 of those. Need the logo on the left on this one, logo on the right on that one. And when our client would take the order, they knew exactly what that order was going to be. So now let's flip that around. I'm going to set up an online store. I'm going to let my client make that store available to the end customer. And I'm going to not only include the items that my client wanted me to include, but I'm also going to include 5, 7, 10, 15 other items that I know folks are going to want to buy since they're in an online store. And trust me when I say, the more opportunities you give for someone while their wallet is open to buy stuff, the more they will take advantage of buying more stuff from you. Second, and should be obvious, but obviously the online wave is here. People are very familiar and comfortable with shopping online. The truth of the matter is, when you do offer online stores, it is much more convenient for your end customer. They can shop whenever they want. They can shop from any device. I'm going to show you some of the online stores that you can set up with our tool. Keep in mind, about 42% of the purchases that come through our platform are from a mobile phone. Now, 2 years ago, that was about 21%. It's more than doubled in the last 2 years. So why is that? Pretty obvious. People like to shop wherever, whenever they are. Here's an interesting statistic, and that is, if anyone can guess, I'll ask it as a question. What would you guess day, time, and day of the week is the most popular online sales period? When are people shopping online? Anyone want to take a guess? So we see on our end Sundays, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time until 1 a.m. Eastern time. It's definitely the busy period. For whatever reason that is, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Obviously, the point is you're giving people the opportunity to buy stuff from you when they choose to do so. Third, I'm actually going to spend a little bit of time at the back end of this webinar today, and we'll talk a lot about order data. It is certainly the engine that runs your entire operation, okay? So without getting too much detail, obviously part of what someone opens an account with us, we give them access to our technology. And of course, right away, they're getting about the business of setting up online stores. So I'm going to show you some sample online stores. By no means do they represent all that you might be able to do. I'll also delineate or define different types of stores for different situations. Again, this would be one of those areas, if we did a one-on-one session later on, we can really get into the details. So for right now, I'm going to make a couple points real simple. Our technology enables you to set up an online store, and generally, the majority of our clients set up hundreds, if not even thousands, of online stores a year. So the average dealer that actually opens an account with us might set up 100, 150, 200 stores. And the reason I mention that is they're really setting up stores specifically for their client. They are custom branded with their client's logo, with their color schemes. We had a client last year that set up over 5,000 online stores. That's a lot of stores. I don't expect that many folks on this particular call would do that in the first year. And there are extenuating circumstances as to why they did so many stores. So that's really what we do. Give you a tool where you can actually set up a store for your client fairly quickly, fairly easily. And what I'm going to do is just click through a couple different sample stores so that you can get an idea of how customizable each store can be. So these are real stores that our clients have set up on our platform. As you will notice, the circumstances, the reason for the store are quite varied. We've got spiritware stores. We've got fundraiser stores. So I'm just going to do a quick click through a couple different examples. This is actually a corporate apparel store that one of our clients set up. And by the way, I did want to use this store to also explain, you can sell anything you want in an online store. So common question I get, I had a client last week that said, we do memorabilia, coins. Can I put coins in my store? And the answer is, of course. If you can take a picture of it, or if you have an image of it, you can add it in an online store. So I'm going to click through a couple different other store examples. Again, just to make the point, very customizable stores. Layouts change, color schemes change. We do have features where if you do have a store that has a lot of products in it, you can actually very easily set them up into categories of products, make it easier for the shopper. Items that are on sale, apparel items, promotional products, women's, men's, youth. So you can actually very easily group categories group your products together into categories that are easy for the shopper to find. So I'm going to click through a couple more examples. By the way, a lot of the companies, especially the apparel companies, are doing a great job of producing promotional videos for the products they produce. So our store designs even allow for videos to be embedded next to products. So this is actually a store for a baseball client we work with. ChampPro is the vendor. ChampPro does a terrific job of actually creating 30-second videos that talk about the benefits of a particular product. We can include those videos in any online store. We have fundraiser store types, very popular. And a fundraiser works two ways. If you want to allow folks to donate, you can actually control. They can choose an amount or they can enter any amount they want. You can also embed videos into the store. So this particular store was set up for a health cause, and this is actually the spokesperson for the Cure TJ, I think is what it was called. So we have fundraiser store types. I'm going to click through here. So we do have a store type that might require a little bit of explanation. It's a very common question. I have a group that wants 5, 7, 10 online stores, but I would like to include them in a website so that it's one destination that everyone can go to. So we do have what we call a multi-store web page that you can actually set up a one-page landing page. And you can do similarly a lot of different animated GIFs, graphics, embed videos, etc. But it also automatically can contain as many individual online stores as you want to include. So let's say you work with a large sports organization or a company that's got different divisions. They've got a forestry division. They've got a construction division. You can actually create a one-page landing page and have each of the individual stores automatically embedded in the landing page. And the beauty of that is I'm going to set up this store, and when it closes, it will automatically drop off the landing page. So you won't see that store anymore. Okay? So lots of different store types. This is another example of a multi-store web page where individual stores are linked on a landing page. And then I can actually go into the specific store. Let me go back to this one here. In any store you set up, we have two levels of integration with Facebook. Of course, going viral, having your stores get passed around social media is always a good idea. I'm going to show you how this is done in just a second. But any store that I set up, with one click, I can include the like and share Facebook icon in the store. What that does is if your shopper comes to this store, they click on the share button, they can actually share your store within their community of friends and followers on Facebook. We call that level 1 integration, in which you can have a store go viral through the community of friends and followers of the folks who share your store on their Facebook. We also have what we call level 2 integration. It's frankly a little bit more sophisticated, but let's say you're working with a client, a large company, a school, and they have a large fan page following. So any store you set up on our platform, you can actually offer to your client to put that store right inside their Facebook fan page. So this is actually our fan page, and we keep a couple live stores. So example there, it's a large university. They have a large alumni following. I'm going to set up an online store for that university, but I'm also going to offer to them that we can put that store right inside their Facebook fan page, and it's a fully shoppable store. Okay? So next, I'm going to switch. I've shown you some sample stores. There's no limit to how many online stores you can set up. In fact, more the merrier. Now what I'm going to do is real simple, take a minute or two and show you a two-step process. What's involved for setting up an online store? So step one, first I'm going to choose the store type. Again, I've kind of given a short description on all the different types of stores we have to simplify it. So I want to set up a particular store type. This particular store type, we call it Open Store, Spirit Store, and it's basically a store that anyone can come in and shop. As an aside, if you set up a store, you can actually password protect any store as well. So step one, I'm actually going to go in and choose what kind of layout that I want my store to look like. The way this generally works is our store design team, or we can show you how to do it, but we'll design pre-templated versions of stores for you. You just go in and find the store version that you want, and the layout, look and feel, color scheme of the store automatically changes. Excuse me. Step two, a lot of our stores have open and close dates. You control that entirely. It's very common to have a store open 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks, and then have it close. And the reason for that is a lot of our clients will open a store, take all the orders, close the store, and then they'll do all the fulfillment. You control entirely the open and close dates. We also give you a little button where if you decide you want to keep that store open forever, all year round, you don't have to have a close date. When you do have a close date, I'm going to set it back to the 30th. The good news is when that store closes, it automatically closes. You don't have to go in and turn it off. And you can set it up so it sends you a reminder. Hey, your store just closed. The other good news is, and it happens all the time, my store closed on the 30th. About 90% of the time, on the 31st, someone will reach out and say, oh, I didn't get a chance to place my order. If you're a nice person, which not all of our clients are, and you want to open that store for that person, you could just go in and change the date and let that person come in and shop again. We have some very powerful discounting tools. I'm not going to go into them in great detail. You can set up shopping range discounts where you're giving discounts based upon the total shopping cart value. You can create coupon codes very easily. A lot of our clients, when they set up a store, they'll offer multiple ways to deliver the items to the client. Bulk delivery is pretty common. So it's for a large company. I'm going to put all the items in a box, ship it out to the company, let them do the distribution. But whenever you set up any store, you can choose whatever delivery option you want. So in this example here, I'm going to let the shopper decide if they want us to direct ship to them. And as an aside, again, won't get into a lot of detail on this. We have some very sophisticated shipping integration tools where you can actually do all of your shipping from within your account. And then finally down here, these boxes, frankly, they're just ways you can further customize the store, embed videos, add logos, graphics, animated GIFs, etc. Okay. Oh, and then I'm going to show you right down here. If I decided I'd like to integrate the Facebook like and share button on my store, it's as simple as clicking yes. That's it. So this is all kind of the foundational information, step one for setting up a store. Any questions so far?
Gary, this is Faye with Universal. On the drop-down menu for designing the page, you have certain names and colors. Can that be expanded upon?
Oh yes, these are all either our dealer has designed them and set them up, or we designed them for them, and there's no limit.
Okay.
So I'm logged in as a sample dealer, and this dealer works a lot with Hiram High School. So we've pre-developed the templates for Hiram High School. They also work with a company called Stealth. So we do have areas of the platform where we can teach you how to set up your own templates. It's very easy to do. But to get started, frankly, the majority of our clients, they tell us what they want. They give us a style design guide, and we'll set up the templates for them in their dropdown.
Great. Thank you.
If you're really creative, you can do it on the fly on your own by clicking this button here. I was just trying to keep the demo simple. Now the tricky part, and then I'll show you how this works, and then we'll do a real quick explanation. So with so many different clients that we work with, sports, non-sports, promotional products, corporate apparel, you name it, of course, it's a constant chase for us to make sure that the majority of the products that our clients might include in an online store, that we make them available in a database. So what you're looking at on the screen is what we call a store catalog. It is nothing more than the items I've selected to include in my online store. There's no limit to how many items you want to set up in a store. However, there is a good rule of thumb. The more items, let's say you give 50, 70, 100 items, the more items you offer in a store, the more confusing it can be for the shopper. They have too many choices, and frankly, the more production fulfillment time it's going to take for you. We can get into that some other time. So a couple things I want to show you on this screen. Number one, it is very easy to create a package of items. About 40% of our stores include a package, and where I'm doing nothing more than just bundling a group of items together. So with a couple clicks, you can actually create any package you want of any number of items that you want. A spirit pack for a school, a required uniform kit for a company. So you just simply grab the items that you want included in a package. You put the price on it down here. Oops, I skipped too far down. There we go. And voila, in about 30 seconds, I've set up a package. And the packages always appear at the top of a store. And hopefully it's clear that's convenient for your shopper. If there's certain products they have to, you're recommended, you're requiring, you can set items as in 3 different ways. They're mandatory, you have to buy it. It's a required uniform kit. It's recommended that you buy this, or optional products. So you can actually set items in a store where the shopper has to buy them before they check out. Now this is where it gets tricky. We try to make the majority of products that our clients would include in an online store available in what we call product libraries. I want to be very clear. by no means do we have every product that everybody on this call sells in a library. However, with Faye and with the Universal team, we have committed to work with every Universal Unilink vendor partner and get their products uploaded into our platform. It will take a lot of work. We got a lot of homework we got to do to make that happen. So pretend for a second it's 2 or 3 months from now, and we've done the job of having all the vendor partners of Universal Unilink companies work with us to get their products available through the platform. I want to show you how easy it is to go find and include any item you want in any online store. So I'm going to use this example here just because it's a little bit quicker, honestly. I'm going to go in and I want to add a Sport Tech product to my catalog, which eventually will be my store. So this went in and it actually found the Sport Tech product I was looking for. So to add an item into a store, I simply go find it, I click add. It's as simple as that. Correlate the sizes the vendor provides with the sizes that you provide. Now, many of the items you're going to offer in a store, you'll put a logo on it. You'll put an embroidery stitch on it. So these are all of the product images that are available for this particular SKU. So if I wanted to go in and render what the item would look like once I'm done the production, I just click on the thumbnail of the color I want to offer. I go and click on the logo that I'm going to drop onto that. Actually, let's do it this way because it always shortcuts this way. So this is the logo that I'm going to embroider, upper left chest. So we do give you a tool. It's called Custom Image Editor tool, which you can actually do pretty simple Photoshop type image creation so that you're rendering what the item's going to look like when you produce it for your shopper. Truth be told, folks like using it. Some folks don't. They have graphics departments or they have custom images they create offline. You can upload any image that you want of any item. So go back to that story about coins. Our client, of course, does coin rendering, customized coins. They would use this button here and just upload the image of the item that they wanted to include in their store. So what I've done is I've taken the time of adding whatever products I wanted to add in the store. I didn't take careful attention to the order I added them, so I can very easily change the order at any time. And then once I've set up the items in the store, I have verified prices. I've checked out the images. That's it. I can actually launch my store. So when you first start out using our tool, frankly, it might take you about an hour, hour and a half. We build your first stores for you for free. And we use that as a training ground to show you how easy it is to set up stores. General rule of thumb, after about 3 or 4 weeks of using our platform, 99% of our clients are setting up their own stores, and it's taking them between 30 to 45 minutes to set up a store. I have some other good news for you, which I'll just mention as long as I'm here. It is very common. I've put a certain number of items in this store, but they're going to be similar to the same items I'm going to put in another store. So both our catalogs, you can duplicate, or you can also duplicate stores. So once I've set up one store, if the majority of my products are going to be the same for the next store I have to set up, with one click, it'll clone that store. That's also how you get into being able to set up a lot of online stores over the period of a year or so. And now with the last 3 or 4 minutes that we've got left, I just want to, real quickly, once I've set up my store, we do have a tool where it's very easy with about 2 or 3 clicks to create a PDF flyer. So 3 layout options. You choose the layout you want. You choose the items you want to include in your flyer. You can choose to add a QR code or not. We encourage adding a QR code because of the mobile statistic I gave earlier. So 42% of purchases through our platform are through a mobile phone. QR codes make it very easy to find your store. There's a lot of mixed opinions about QR codes. I just want to mention QR technology is now in the cameras of all smartphones, whereas before you needed a separate reader. Those that are about 25 or younger, are pretty familiar with QR codes now, and they use QR codes a lot. So I'm going to take the last minute or two and kind of deliver to the punchline. Really, at the end of the day, this is actually what we do, which is the back-end order management piece. So imagine for a second, I've set up 15, 20, 30 online stores over the last 2 or 3 months. That's a lot of data that's flowing through your store. So as part of when you open an account with us, you get your own central order data management system. And this is truly what we do for a living. So think about the number of pieces of information that come through on an order: a size, a color, a style number, logo position, customer contact information, etc. So what we're doing for every online store is we're helping you gather, organize, and make available to you all of that order data. So this data system pretty much lets you run your operation. I'm not going to go through every report. I'm just going to give you some examples. So this happens to be, oops, wrong one here. This is a report, we call it the full report. It's literally every piece of information on every order. If I offered discounts, what was the discount? What was the tax? Customer contact information. A units report is your purchase order. As I said up front, a lot of our clients don't stock inventory. They'll set up a store. When that store closes, they'll then order the items they need to fulfill that store. This is actually the purchase order for them. It tells them exactly what items they either have to go and take out of inventory or go and actually order directly from the vendor. Okay? Lots of other fancy reports. These are all we call standard reports. As you use the system more, you will have unique customizable needs. I need a report that has this, this, and this information. We give you a whole custom report dashboard where you can custom configure any report that you want. Generally speaking, we work with you and then set those reports up for you. But just imagine it's all that data put up in formats that you need to run your operation. It's pretty common for a client to say, you know what, I want to stay in the know while that store is open. I want to know how it's going. You can easily go in and actually set up any report. And in this example here, my client Bob wants to see how his store is doing every day. So I'm going to go into this report here, and I'm going to let Bob every single day while the store is open, 8 o'clock in the morning. If I set this up, a report will automatically compile and then it be sent in an attachment to my client Bob every single day while the store is open. So you can automatically send reports to whomever you want while the store is open. So headline on that, 3 sections: a tool to set up online stores, fairly easy, straightforward way to set up stores. There are some folks on this call, I believe, some of the vendor partners that we're working with, to actually set up pre-templated stores that might feature some of the vendor partners that are on this call. Or frankly, if you've got an occasion, let's say you do a lot of spirit wear stores, a lot of corporate apparel stores, we can set up any template store you want for you that's included in your account. And then with one click, you can just copy it, clone it, copy, clone, copy, clone. All right. So going all the way back to the beginning, purpose of today, truly and sincerely, let you know generally what we do. Don't know that what we do is a perfect fit for everybody that's on this session. If in fact what you saw today, you think there might be a good fit, the best way, as I mentioned up front, is let's do a one-on-one demo or a one-on-one session. And that way we can answer any and all questions that you have. So before we sign off for the day, I want to make sure anybody out there that has a question, something we didn't cover, must need to know right now, be happy to answer. Take the next 2 or 3 minutes, answer any and all questions that you have.
Is there any idea that you could give us about what we're talking about on price?
Yes, great question. So no startup fee, no contract. So you say, you know what, I think I would like to give this a try, but I don't want to stroke a check up front. You don't have to. So our pricing model is straightforward. We make money when you make money. So you can open an account, you can sign an agreement. If after a month or two it doesn't work for you, you just simply tell us, we close your account, so you're not out any money. And we're commission based. So we apply a commission against the price of the items in a store. So the more you sell, the more revenue we make. We apply that commission only on the price of the items. That commission is not applied against shipping taxes or handling fees. And because Universal is such a terrific company, we've agreed to actually reduce our normal starting rate for new clients. So our commission when you first start out working with us is 3.5%. So 3.5% off the price of items you set up in an online store. That's the way we make revenue. Now there's one other cost factor that I got to establish up front, and that is you are transacting credit cards. So we do offer the use of our credit card merchant account. 65% of our clients use our merchant account to transact a credit card. You're going to pay that cost if you're using your merchant account, or we make our merchant account available to you at our cost. And we actually make that our use of our merchant account available at 2.9% flat. That's our actual cost. Well, you've been a delight. I appreciate your time today. I know everyone's very busy. Each one of you received my personal contact information. If after this session you wanted to schedule a one-on-one session, please reach out to me personally. My direct phone number is also listed in the emails that we sent out earlier this week. And even if you're not sure you want to do it, frankly, we'd be happy to answer any and all questions that you have. At the end of the day, mission accomplished. Faye, thank you for allowing us the forum to at least inform generally what might be an option for some of the folks on this session. And we appreciate your time today.
Jerry.